Welcome to the show. We've got a great episode for you today. As all things debunking myths and following trivial topics. We love that on this channel. But before we get started, make sure you subscribe. Give our videos a like. Lets us know what type of content you're enjoying. And also hit the bell so you get a notification when we release new topics and new episodes. So, we're going to focus on food and drink today. In communications, it's very important to know fact from fiction. And so, today's topic is about carrots not being originally orange. Hold your seats. Today, carrots are practically synonymous with the color orange, but their auburn hue is a relatively recent development. When the carrot was first cultivated 5,000 years ago in Central Asia, it was often a bright purple. Soon, two different groups emerged: Asiatic carrots and Western carrots. Eventually, yellow carrots in this Western group, which may have developed as mutants of the purple variety, developed into the recognizable orange color around the 16th century, helped along by the master agricultural traders of the time, the Dutch. A common myth says the Dutch grew these carrots to honor William of Orange, the founding father of the Dutch Republic, but there is no evidence of this. This is something interesting that dates back to my childhood, where whenever I played FIFA, I always wondered why the Netherlands were always wearing orange, even though you don't see that in most of their flag or any other place. Quick fact or fib tidbit for you guys. Eating too many carrots can turn your skin orange. Is this fact or fib? Leave a comment below. We'd like to see what you think. So, what's more likely is that the Dutch took to the vegetable because it thrived in the country's mild, wet climate. So although the orange color may have first appeared naturally, Dutch farmers made it the predominant hue by selectively growing orange roots. Scholars say these carrots likely performed more reliably, tasted better, and were less likely to stain in the purple versions. The modern orange carrot evolved from this period of Dutch cultivation and soon spread throughout Europe before making its way to the New World. Today, there are more than 40 varieties of carrots of various shapes, sizes, and colors, including several hues of purple. Now, let's look at some stats that I think are very interesting, and the numbers don't lie. The weight in tons of carrots grown in the U.S. in 2020 for fresh market use was 3.4 billion. The percentage of a typical carrot that's just water is 88. Year that Crayola introduced the color neon carrot was in 1990. And the number of genes in a carrot, 32,115. That's 20% more than human beings. So, let's take a further look at some other interesting facts. So the purple is associated with royalty, right, thanks to a rare mollusk. For most of European history, creating a rich, resilient purple dye was an extremely expensive process. The dye could only be made from the dried mucus glands of Murex shellfish found near the ancient Phoenician town of Tyre. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Tyre, on the Mediterranean, now part of Lebanon. Making just 1 gram of this pigment, known as Tyrian purple, required nearly 9,000 of these mollusks. So only the very wealthy, think emperors and royals, could afford to use the color. In ancient Rome, purple became associated with the power of the emperor, and the idea continued after the empire's fall. So in medieval and Elizabethan England, a series of sumptuary laws ensured that the color purple was reserved only for the most elite members of society. Upon paying to forfeit the said apparel, luckily in 1856, chemist William Henry Perkin accidentally created a synthetic purple dye, later called mauve, while trying to synthesize a drug for, guess what? Malaria. Purple's imperial reign was over. Well, that brings us to the end of this episode. I hope you learned something. We sure did. Please make sure you subscribe, give us a like, and head over to buymeacoffee.com/Samson King to support the channel. We appreciate it. And as always, thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you next time.